You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Information and Communications Technology Undersecretary Jeffrey D. Usec. D, welcome to The Source. And also, thank you so much for your time. Let me already start, sir. Medusa ransomware demanding $300,000. Is government inclined to pay this?
No, it's the policy of government not to pay any ransom for any type of criminal activity, including cyber attacks. So it's the position of government not to pay this ransom.
Is there a concern on the kind of data that the hackers have obtained?
Of course, every let me start by saying that every data that any hacker got, we take it seriously, because the data, based on our investigations, not just on the leaked documents that was leaked by the hackers, no? But based on our internal investigations, they involve also some personally identifiable information from employees of PhilHealth and some internal memos that are supposed to be treated confidentially because they are internal memos within PhilHealth. So we take it seriously, but I would also like to assure the public that as of now, no, based on our investigations, the PhilHealth database remains intact. In fact, it is accessible internally, not externally, because due to the containment measures that we have to put in place, we turned off the online access, but the PhilHealth databases are still accessible by employees of the PhilHealth.
Yeah, in fact, I was asking Dr. Pergas a while ago. I was having him explain to me exactly what was going on and what were the data that were compromised. Basically, also, he was saying that 72 workstations were initially compromised, and then eventually they decided to shut it down. Would you say that the decision to just shut down the online system and other siguro parts of that online system of PhilHealth was done fast enough so that siguro the virus or the hackers could not have been able to obtain more information? Did they act swiftly?
Yes. I actually would like to commend PhilHealth for acting swiftly. Number one, they contacted the National Computer Emergency Response Team almost immediately after receiving the report. They sent a message to one of our undersecretaries, and that was followed by another message directly to our Computer Emergency Response Team. So it was really quick. And then we were there when we advised them also to contain the situation by turning off all the other online systems. Because PhilHealth is also connected to the ICT, to the eGov app.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a good siguro advice, no? To companies, for that matter, when something like that happens, the need to possibly, tama huwa, please correct me if I'm wrong, to turn off the computers or not to even access it when there seems to be a problem is the best option to take, because first you need to call the proper agency or authorities to advise them and tell them what's going on.
That is correct. To contain first. So
Yeah.
actually, that's our framework, no? So first, you have to determine what the problem is. Then second is always to contain. One of the common problems with hacking is that people start analyzing. No, you should start containing first so that para hindi siya
Yeah.
kumalat.
Yeah.
And that's, I think they're doctors in PhilHealth, so they know that.
Yeah.
That is actually in any emergency, even if it's fire, even if it is a pandemic, or the first, really the first response is to contain the
To
situation.
contain it.
If you need to quarantine it so that it will not spread,
Yeah.
it's the same as a virus, kasi
Yeah.
this Medusa malware. So
But here's the thing, Usec, if ransom is not paid, I do remember reading a report that there's a deadline of about the next 8 days for government to pay the ransom. And
correct.
if we don't pay the ransom, dinadagdagan pa ng so many thousands of dollars for every additional day after the deadline that's been set. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
What will happen, because you said, obviously, government policy not to pay ransom, what will happen to the data they obtained? Because this is going to be in the tawag nga, the dark web, hindi ho ba?
Yes, correct. Yes, it's now in the dark web. In fact, similar to any ransom demand, they already posted some leaks to prove that they are the hackers, number one, and they indeed have the data. what will happen is that after 8 days, and you're accurate, no, you're well informed, Pinky. I think it's now 8 days less, mga seven something. What will happen is that they will start leaking the data. Ang nangyayari kasi, that their modus operandi is that if they cannot force the victim, they will force the public. They will create panic. They will want the public to be the ones to lobby PhilHealth and government to pay the ransom. So they will ano yan, unti-unti yan. They will one by one or by batches release the data in public. They will create stories like, oh, you know what? These are the truth. PhilHealth is lying to you. They'll create a propaganda because they want people to believe and to pressure PhilHealth and government to pay. If you look at the Medusa website in the dark web, also I would like to reiterate, the Medusa ransomware or lockware is a very enterprising software. It's being sold to criminal syndicates. That's why if you look at the dark web, there are, apart from PhilHealth, there are other agencies there abroad. There are other government agencies abroad. There are also a lot of privately held companies also abroad that they are demanding ransom from. So hindi lang tayo yung tinamaan, marami sila. Marami tayo. So this is also an international concern.
So Usec, what happens?
That's why we're also coordinating with other computer emergency response teams from other government.
So let's say, when is the deadline to pay the ransom?
I think that's next, if I'm not mistaken, mga Monday next week.
Let's put it at Monday, sir. And then if we don't pay ransom, if government does not pay ransom, you said that they will start bringing out data that will somehow, seem sensitive enough and push the public to tell government to start paying the ransom. Okay, but of course, that is the call of government. My question is, what if there is data that is compromising enough? Is there any data, I guess the question is, that is so compromising that should not be out there?
That's a very good question. No? Actually, we have some indications of some data of some people who are really, who you really want to keep. No? It is your laptop. Imagine this, no? Even if it is a personal laptop or a personal computer that you use for your work, there are certain items there that you store that are personal to you.
Of course.
Maybe your pictures of your family, and even notes of, perhaps, if you're that type of person, notes of passwords that you use for certain accounts.
Even a journal,
possible,
sir.
right?
Even your own, diba, your own journal, how you feel, etc. Just a lot of things, a lot of stuff that are very personal to you.
That is correct. And also your contact book might be uploaded to an application or you may have a worksheet with all the contacts that you have, including the phone numbers and their addresses. That is possible. So that's what they will try to hit first.
Okay.
And then second, like I said, they'll create a political situation by running through these memos and then saying, oh, you know what, these are the memos that they've been writing on. They've been doing this, etc., etc.
I guess.
So yes.
Siguro, I'm sorry, Usec, no? Here's my question. Do you know of any document that they have that could be held hostage, and eventually, if we do not pay ransom, they will bring it out and possibly, I don't know, humiliate or embarrass or just sensitive information? Is there anything that they have right now that is so sensitive that should not be publicized?
Right now, I don't have that information. The systems were already encrypted when we came in, and we don't know what the file contents are. Maybe PhilHealth would have more information about that, but we don't have information. What we do know is that they have a significant trove of information.
Sorry, sir, a significant?
They have a significant trove. Ibig sabihin, it's approximate hundreds of thousands of files.
All right. We need to take a very short break. We'll be right back. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Information and Communications Technology Undersecretary Jeffrey D. Usec. Just one more question. Any idea on those behind this Medusa ransomware? Any update on the probe on these cyber hackers?
Yes. So we have there are two types of. That's a very complicated question. You tell us, do we know the group? Yes. Do we know the APT, the modus operandi? Do we have an international intelligence network that says where they operate? Yes. Is that enough to file charges against certain people? Not yet. We don't even know the real identity behind the group. Again, this is an international concern. We have evidences. We perform forensics inside PhilHealth with the assistance of our friends from the Cybercrime Investigation Coordinating Center. We got files. We have the command and control structure of this organization. We even know where they're putting the files. But as to who exactly, parang ano they run in, parang they work in aliases. For example, you know me as Jeffrey, but I could run as, a different alias, let's say Jose Rizal.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't know who Jose Rizal is. That's how they operate.
Right. And
I guess that's
investigation.
the complex answer to your
I
question.
understand. Yeah, it's not as easy. It's not an easy question to answer, but investigation is ongoing. DICT Undersecretary Jeffrey D. Sir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Pinky,
Thank
and
you.
to the listeners. Thank you.
And before we go, today marks the 7th anniversary of The Source. We would like to thank our guests for taking their time to share their thoughts on issues that matter most to Filipinos. We would also like to thank you, our viewers, for your continued support and trust as we strive to provide discussions on critical issues that are accurate, fair, and balanced. This 7-year milestone will also not be possible without the dedication and hard work of our team, the ones behind the camera. The Source will continue to provide in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.